We are starting at the edge of the high service pumping station, completed in 1888. This is a very simple building. Basically all it did was store coal. The coal was burned, water was boiled, and steam was made. And these giant pumps here, which are powered on steam, took that water and pumped it up to a higher location, the Fisher Hill Reservoir, which is a mile that way and about 140 feet above where we are now. From there, it was able to go by gravity down to all those higher elevations in Boston that desperately needed water, and this included Beacon Hill. This was built with an enormous sense of pride, and the inside of the building, of course, is highly decorated, again, to emphasize the ability of Boston to provide for its citizens using the very latest technology to do that. Unfortunately, within the first couple of years of the operation of this site, it became obvious that a lot more capacity was necessary for the city of Boston. Fortunately, the most brilliant steam engineer of his day, Erasmus Darwin Leavitt Jr., had an office in Cambridge. So Leavitt was able to take this site, which was a huge challenge, and create a customized steam engine that was capable of pumping 20 million gallons a day, doubling the capacity of the site. He got this thing done within 2 years, and it actually worked. Leavitt got a lot of praise for this, and ultimately this became a National Historic Engineering landmark in the 1970s. So it was really appreciated back then in his time and then in our modern world. This is a triple expansion steam engine, Boston's first. And what that means is the steam comes in from the boiler room at 185 pounds per square inch into the first cylinder here, and there are 3 cylinders along the way. This allows the steam to be used a second time and even a third time. This section of the building was added onto in 1897, and you really can't tell from the outside, or from the inside, other than the archway here, that it is an addition. A few short years later, then this had to be put in, and what we're looking at is actually a 5-story tall engine, 2 stories below ground, where the pumps are, and 3 stories above ground. And this represents the coming of the new century. And in fact, clad in what was known as Russian iron. It was not wood, because this company said, we want to go into the future, and wood is old school. Leavitt is old school, only 4 years after that engine was made. What you would feel and hear would be beneath your feet. 30 million gallons a day of water being pumped by this engine, coming from the reservoir, rushing under our feet, and going out the building a mile away to that other reservoir. This engine has those parts that were really developed way back in the beginning of the steam age by the Brits Newcomen and Watt. So for example, 2 giant wheels. These are known as flywheels. And each of these flywheels are 25 tons. So it's dead weight. It's stored energy. If you know physics at all, even the most basic, and that's all I know, these things store energy, so they're hard to get going, but once you get going, they really deliver. So we've learned about the Leavitt engine and about the Alice engine, and now we're here in front of the 3rd engine that's in place here, the Worthington Snow engine from Buffalo, New York. This is utilitarian, as we would expect it to be today when you see a piece of equipment like this, as an homage to what went before. They made many of these engines, and they're not particularly large, but they're really, really reliable and super economical. And this would be actually completely operable today. This was the last engine operating on the site. It's just built to go and go and go. This is really fitting for Boston. I'm sure they were absolutely thrilled to provide this cutting-edge equipment. Thank you very much for joining me on the tour today. There's lots more to explore.